Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Steve Lewis Jr., of course, who competed in the ARCA Series race at Daytona. How's it going, Steve?
Good. How are you?
Well, so before we get into the racing stuff, typically what I like to do with people who come on here for the first time is just kind of talk about, just start with telling me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. I started racing go-karts at age 7 at my home track in Ransomville. Moved into dirt car center steer modified at the age of 15. Moved into a 358 modified at Ransomville Speedway and tracks throughout the northeast as well at age 17. I've been racing there since.
Yeah. So going into this, I know you've wanted to get into stock car racing and stuff. What intrigued you about getting an ARCA car?
So I always thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you watch it on TV and everything growing up and watching Daytona, and I thought it would be a pretty cool atmosphere to be a part of. And I just started saving up after I graduated college as at UB. Went to University of Buffalo, got my mechanical engineering degree, and then started saving. Talked to Andy Jankowiak, who did it around my area. Started a couple of years ago in ARCA, and then started looking for a car about this time last year.
So where did you get it? Like, where did you find it?
Yeah, so I had to you had to network quite a bit to find something that would be suitable for a super speedway, because every car is different as well. I mean, there's short track cars, speedway cars. So I ended up finding one from Kyle Sieg, who runs the Xfinity Series now. Went down there in December and had a month to get it ready for the test at Daytona, and then race in February.
So how was the test at Daytona for you?
It was pretty good. I mean, I didn't know what to expect at all, right? Because I've never been driving this type of car and on a speedway like this. So it's a little intimidating at first, so I don't know what to expect, but went pretty well. Car had some good speed in it, and setup was good for not knowing what to expect, putting it together in our garage with not a lot of experience with these type of cars.
Yeah. So kind of talk about just talk about what it was like to be down there at Daytona and to be on the grid, to be, just part of it in the draft, because you were up there at different points in the race.
Yeah. So the driver introduction, all the pre-race activities, that's a pretty cool part. I like that. Pretty good compared to even racing. I mean, that's a pretty cool atmosphere to be a part of. First time getting out on the grid at Daytona, and just trying to take it all in at the same time. I mean, because you never know how many opportunities you're going to get to race at Daytona. So, and then throughout the race, we hung back most of the race just to feel it out. I mean, I've never been in a pack quite like that. I mean, there was probably 25, 30 cars in the pack all together. So we hung out in the back trying to save the car because it was getting pretty dicey up front for most of the race. And we always thought there was going to be the big one. And the big one really never happened. I mean, it was 1-2 cars spinning, but nothing big happened. And we were expecting that because in previous years, there's always been, it seems like, at least a decent size wreck throughout the race.
Yeah. So coming off of Daytona, how do you feel like you did?
I think I did pretty well. I mean, we ended up finishing 13th. Car still in one piece. I went from, I think, 24th or somewhere I wasn't in the top 20 with one to go. I know that because I was looking at the leaderboard when I rewatched it on TV. So we moved a lot on the last lap. I just think I think the 13th is pretty good considering I own my own team. Pretty small team. And just putting the whole deal together in 2 months and going out and racing at Daytona and finishing 13th. I think that's pretty awesome to to do that compared to, I mean, we're a much smaller team than any of those Venturini or Gibbs or something like that.
So talk about just who kind of helps you out with all this.
Yeah, so my dad helps me out quite a bit. He's helped me my whole career. And then I had some other guys from around this area that around the Ransel area. They're pretty smart when it comes to racing in general. Like they've driven a lot of different things. Um, so they helped me out quite a bit. And then I got talking to Andy Jankowiak. He helped me out quite a bit. And then some of his crew members that I know from around this area helped me out quite a bit. So
Okay. So let's talk about when your next race will be.
yeah, so I would after coming off of Daytona, and I really like that a lot. So I'm planning on hopefully doing Talladega. If I can get some sponsors lined up. Right now, I'm don't have any sponsors for Talladega, so I'm looking to try to get my name out there and get some funding that way. I know the race is April 22nd, so we got about a month and a half.
I mean, usually if someone needed sponsors, it usually works out well. I mean, just look at what happened to Greg Van Elst. So
Yeah,
I mean, I think he said he needed to showed up with a blank car at Daytona and then got like 20, and then he got about 20 sponsors to come in and help out. So
yeah.
so yeah, just to kind of talk about, is that the only races that you plan? Is Talladega the only race you plan on doing, or could we see you at more?
If I can get some more funding, like for instance, Greg, I mean, he was able to keep getting funding, and I think he ran the whole season last year,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure he plans on doing that again. So we'll see. I mean, I know I would like to do Talladega and then see where it goes from there. I mean, I don't have a short track car, so I can't. I mean, I could probably run intermediates as well if I change some stuff on this car, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Talladega. There's some other intermediate tracks at near the end of the year. I know Pocono's not too far from me. That would be a cool one to go to. Michigan's not too far from me. That'd be another cool one.
Watkins Glen.
I don't. I mean, I would do it, but I don't have any experience road racing, so that'd bring up a whole new challenge there.
For sure. I mean, it is your home track, so
It is.
how? I mean, eventually, where's the end all goal in it? I mean, do you want to? Well, obviously, maybe start off ARCA full time and maybe go from there.
Yeah, I mean, the dream is to climb the ladder, but through the next level. But I mean, I don't know if that'll ever happen. I mean, hopefully it does, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I have my own team, so I can kind of make the calls on some of the things I do right now, which is nice to that aspect. So we'll see where it goes. I mean,
All right. And also, by the way, since you're kind of brand new, since this really the first time a lot of people are getting to know you, where can people follow you?
yeah. So I have a Facebook page, Steve Lewis Racing, that was just created actually a month or two ago. And then I have my own personal pages on Facebook, and then I have a Instagram page, Steve Lewis 11.
Okay. All right. Now we'll check that out there. All right. Well, Steve, thanks so much for coming on and talking with us, and we'll hopefully see you at Talladega in a few months.
Yep. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.